Alright, so we're going to open this thing up. This is going to take a while, but I'm going to show you how to repair that. So I bought this radio from some guy and glued this thing on here. And I went to go turn it and I'm like, oh, broken. So today we're going to pull this thing over here. So Icom had the part. It wasn't terribly bad, but the shipping, they literally raped me on the shipping. This part is $12. Okay, this is $12. It's from Icom. They charged me over $18 for this less than 1 pound box shipping. I'm pretty damn certain that it doesn't cost $18. It was shipped on a Tuesday and got here from Washington to Arizona on a Saturday. That's not like overnight or anything. So $18 for this is ridiculous. And here's our part. It actually doesn't say 746 Pro on it, so sure hope it's right. Anyway, we'll find out. We're gonna open this up, get some screws loose. A little trick I like to use these. Fits in the Phillips really good. If you got a radio somebody's already boogered up the screws, it helps. I'm listening to a conversation on 10 meters right now. I want to turn that down. Okay. We're going to have to take the entire face off of this radio, which is going to be fun. But I've done this on the 756 Pros before. There's no big deal. 746 isn't that much different. Let me go ahead and I'm going to pause this so you don't have to watch me open the whole thing. Okay, so you're going to take the bottom and the top covers off, and then you're going to have to tilt the face down or pull the face off. So we'll be back. Okay, so you need to take the 2 screws off of each side, and it's easiest to lay it on its side like this, and then pull it out like this, pull that ribbon. And now you have the entire face of the radio. It's almost a remote head. So anyway, we gotta get that one out, and they're on a board. So we got to get those loose, and then when we get those loose, we have to solder the new one on. Icom didn't sell anything else. They don't sell the whole assembly like they do on the 756 series. So the difference between the 756 and this radio is there's 2 switches in between instead of 4, and I have one above here. That I can show you really quick. There's 2 buttons, and the bottom is double ganged, whereas this one is not. This one is a single with 4 buttons, so only the top one is the same. Anyway, let's get to it. So in order to get to this board right here has its own ribbon, and you'll have to pull all the controls off of this face, and then you need to separate the plastic that you can get to the nut that holds these 2 in there. So I'm not going to film all that, but I'll give you kind of a step-by-step. Okay, so now this video is good for anything that you might have to replace. So, and I've done one of these before. This is the only plastic part in here, as far as controls go. But anyway, so we need to remove this screw, and then that one over there. We can pull this brake out of here, and then we can pull these tabs here. So I will do that on camera. Hopefully, let me put this where we can see it. Okay, so just make sure you don't lose any of these screws. You'll be sorry. This one here is the adjustment screw. I don't know if you guys can see. This is the adjustment screw that puts it pivots that and puts tension on your VFO. Now the VFO knob is a regular knob. You just pull on it gently, it will come off. There's no set screws or anything like that. Okay. I like to leave everything kind of how it was and put it back. Okay. So now, just make sure that we got all our stuff. So we have all our knobs. So we get tabs here and here. Pull them right here. Should be some more right here. If you have dirt behind anything, this is another good opportunity. Now, there's a ribbon here going to the east, so be very careful. Be very careful. So, to be a ribbon to both of them. So, I'm actually going to pull those. That one should be right there. Yeah. So, I'm going to go ahead and undo these first. Okay. So, that's that one. This one here should be right here. So, we're going to have to pull that to get to it. And just be careful with these, especially if the radio, you know, belonged to a smoker like this one. Okay. So now we'll pop these back again. Alright. Should be able to pull it out now. And I could have pulled it out here, but boy, I tell you what, it'll be really hard. Now's a good chance to clean the back of this if you're going to. So, we'll get this on camera here. So this is what we're after on this one. Just give you an idea. If you're watching this video for other reasons, you just see what you're dealing with. So I'm going to pause the video and go find my sockets for these. So you're going to need a 10 and an 11 and a 12. And I think the top is actually really an 11, but my 12 fits on there. And they're not like real difficult. I'm not even using the ratchet. So that sealant is kind of binding right now. Or they dripped super glue on this thing, I'm not sure which. But I'm pretty sure this is an 11, not a 12. And then the bottom one is a 10. So, we got that out of there. Then we go and pull our board. Okay. So their ribbon's kind of in the way. So this thing is actually not trying to clear the hole. I'm not sure what the reason is. I guess it needs to be centered up. So there's that. I'll set this aside carefully. Now, what we have to do on this one here, if my camera will focus, is I have to get in here and unsolder that and solder the new one onto here. But, you know, I bought this radio and a 756 Pro for $700, so this was, you know, reason that I got it kind of cheap. The guy would have sold it to me for a lot more money if I hadn't noticed that this thing was broken. It's in a tiny little shaft in the center. You probably can't see it in here, but, you know, it sits in here and it looks like it's, you know, substantial, but it's really not. So anyway, they glued this thing to make it look good, and so no PBT. I've been using the radio without it for a while, so I'll be back after I get it unsoldered. So this particular thing did not want to come out of the board, so this was really a pain in the butt. Really a pain in the butt. So they finally got it assembled where I can go in and solder it. This was like, I don't know, I don't think I've ever seen anything quite this bad. It's the through-hole solder stuff. I tried everything. This thing didn't want to come out. By the way, you can pull this piece out. So I probably could have pulled the clip off of the back and just hot swapped the center section, but I don't want to take any chances on any of this. I got something on my soldering iron burning. So but I wish I had like a professional soldering sucker. Because this did not go well. I mean, this is like ridiculous. This took a really long time to do. Let me get this, Let me make sure that I got really good connections here because I don't want to come back in and do this again. So normally you'd want to use a better flux than that. But anyway. So let's see here. So this was just really difficult. It just it didn't want to. I put soldering braid on it right here. You know, it just didn't want to come out. I've never struggled with something that hard before. So anyway, let's put the radio back together. All right, we got our controls back in there, and of course I put a big fingerprint on the display. So I got to go and put some get some rubbing alcohol. So yep, we'll be back. I'm not sure if you can see this or not, but anyway, I used the microfiber cloth on this and it actually scratched it. So I don't know what I would recommend, but I would recommend don't get fingerprints on it and don't touch it. Yeah, that really kind of pisses me off. You probably won't be able to see it. I'm not sure how clean this thing is. It looks like there's some dirt behind it, so I am gonna have to deal with this. This is really a pain in the butt. So, yeah, you can see it's got a little bit of scratchiness on it. There's not a lot I can do about it. The guy smoked, and so there's damage to everything. And I think they wiped it a lot. So, I don't know. Some of the Meguiar's Scratch X plastic would probably be good, but I don't think I have any anymore. So, I'm just going to go ahead and deal with it. So, we're just going to go ahead and put this back together. I just can't believe that the microfiber cloth, a brand new one from Harbor Freight, scratched the display. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to see it through here or not anyways, so it might not matter, but still the fact is it scratched it. So, so you got to be careful to get these ribbon cables back through here. I'm not on camera, so you can't see what I'm doing, but you get that one there, and then that one there. So make sure you get those first, and then snap it down in there. Put this one back in. Now these are folded. Fold them like that, because there's a card edge underneath it, and that allows you to push it in. Double check everything before you put this back together. The last thing that you're going to want to do is have to take this thing apart because you bumped one of them or, you know, something. So, that'd be it right there. I see this little thing in the corner here. I'm hoping that's on the inside, or not outside. I'm hoping it's on the outside, but I think it's on the inside. So, I might have to take this thing apart again before we proceed, because that will bug the hell out of me if I see that in the corner there. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and put the rest of this back together. I'm going to show you how it goes back together, since originally I didn't film that part. So you have the VFO knob with this piece here. You locate this. Just line up. Okay. Now, I just make sure there's no tension on it. I stop when it gets tension. Put your knob on. Ah, lovely. So there's a metal piece in here, and we lost it. It locks this piece on. So we're going to be looking for that. Hopefully it isn't too far. If not, to get creative. Okay. That sucks. Okay. Just a good time to clean your knobs off too. Make sure you put them on the correct way, because they can go on backwards. Yeah, so I got a problem with the VFO knob. And you can see most of this is pretty straightforward. Well, so as I suspected, it was sitting not too far from my foot. So we put that back in there. Apparently, it does not want to stay. So what we'll do, we'll grab this. All right. So this is where you can set your tension to. Okay, so you got that there. There's a problem with the piece that came off of here. It had glue or something stuck to it. Okay. Our new knob. And this one, you'll know from the rest of them, there's no red line on it. So make sure you get that right. Hopefully it's looking funky. Say, come on, Icom, don't tell me you sold me the wrong freaking crap. It almost looks like it. There we go. It just has to, it's kind of oval. It has to be in the right position. Okay, I think that's that one. Or that might be this one here. Let's get your RIT. This is the one that usually breaks. Okay, now we just have to find our other knob that we had trouble removing, and then put the radio back together. So I wanted to show you guys this so you know what, this is what broke off. So this piece normally is like this, and then it goes through the center of this. There's a clip on the back, so we could actually push this thing back through here, and we probably could have just swapped this piece and put the clip on the back. It's got a little C-clip, but anyway, this basically sits up in here and goes through here. There's no way to really repair something that small. I mean, I weld and do different things. There's just, I don't see any way. It's just too small. Well, you'd have to reduce the size of the center shaft and probably like solder it. We're just gonna take this and I'm gonna see if I can find my little pliers and try and put the clip back on. Stick it in the bag. You never know when you might need parts, and so you got to be careful with these because they could break real easy. We want to make sure that it works before we start putting it back together, you know. It's always a good idea. Now, if you have worn out screws, put them on the bottom. You know, ones where the paint's worn off, put them on the bottom. Put your nice ones on the top. You don't have to look at the worn out screws. Turn the flash off on this. So, anyways, I'm just going to put this together and film it. And oh, these are nice ones. And anyway, so there's another issue that happens with these radios, and that's the display goes out too. So they do have guys that are selling an LED backlighting that you put in there. I imagine that it's pretty similar to the 756 Pro. Anyway, let me get this assembled off of camera. So, going for. They usually show you the filter, yeah. So I couldn't do this before. And what I'd have to do is I'd have to go over here, and I'd have to go. It clears it. You can put it wherever you want it. And then just hold that. It'll clear it. So you got your little FT8.
However it works and whatever demonstrations we can do is fine with me. It's about 77 degrees and actually it's 76 degrees now. It's gone down. Getting cooler here. About 100 miles north of Oklahoma City. K7ECQ W0DY.
Anyway. It works.